From fitness model to WWE's Victoria, to TNA's Tara to businesswoman and podcast host, Lisa Marie Varon has just about done it all. In the early 1990s, Varon became a personal trainer and taught aerobics. As she was training at a gym, she was offered a spot in a bodybuilding competition and accepted. She won that show as a middleweight and went on to compete in a string of big fitness competitions. Her biggest win came when she was 26 in 1997 at ESPN2's Fitness America series. Varon befriended Tori Wilson at the Miss Galaxy competition in 1998, and she met Trish Stratus at another competition. Wilson introduced Varon to professional wrestling by inviting her backstage to a WCW show. Varon even appeared in a segment alongside Scott Hall, but she wasn't able to secure a contract with the company at the time. She then moved to Los Angeles, where she began working at Crunch Fitness. There, she met Chyna, taking a hip-hop dance class alongside her. Varon told Chyna about her friends in the business.
She goes, "Oh, are you a wrestler? You have a really good look for it." And I go, I think I can do what Rob Van Dam does and Rey Mysterio, because gymnastics and a flyer and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Varon asked Chyna how she could apply to work in WWE, and the ninth wonder of the world gave the budding star the address to the corporate office in Connecticut. Varon sent a video she had made of herself and her talents, showing her fitness competitions and demonstrating exercises. 2 days after sending in her audition tape, Varon heard back from Kevin Kelly, who at the time was a backstage interviewer and talent scout for WWE. He invited her in for an interview sometime within the next month, so Varon began training at Ultimate Pro Wrestling in Southern California in 2000, under the ring name HBIC, or Head in Charge. WWE executive Bruce Pritchard came to see her first show with UPW and was impressed, offering her a spot in WWE. Varon made her WWE debut that summer as the new leader of the Godfather's entourage. The brief storyline culminated with her taking a powerbomb through a table after the Godfather became the Goodfather. She then adopted the name Victoria, but was then taken off TV that November to hone her skills in WWE's developmental territories. Varon was initially sent to Power Pro Wrestling in Memphis for extensive training. While in the promotion, she feuded against the likes of Jerry Lawler and the Cat, even marrying Bobby Eaton in a kayfabe in-ring wedding. Varon then made her way to Memphis Championship Wrestling, where she acted as the promotion's commissioner and feuded with Ivory. The promotion closed in 2001, and Varon was sent to Kentucky to train in Ohio Valley Wrestling, where she managed the Basham brothers. After around 2 years of training in developmental territories, Varon returned to WWE proper as Victoria on an episode of Sunday Night Heat in July 2002, immediately starting a feud with Trish Stratus. Victoria's first pay-per-view match was against Stratus at No Mercy 2002. Their feud called back to their careers as fitness models, with Victoria claiming Stratus had betrayed her. Victoria went on to win her first WWE Women's Championship at Survivor Series the same year, defeating Stratus. She debuted her finishing move, the Widow's Peak, and began using All the Things She Said by Tattoo as her entrance theme. Stratus and Victoria's feud continued, with Victoria's on-screen boyfriend, Stevie Richards, sometimes coming to her aid. At WrestleMania 19, Stratus won the Women's Championship back, and Victoria moved on to other feuds. In November 2003, she and Lita competed in the first ever women's steel cage match in WWE. Victoria also feuded with Molly Holly and secured her second women's championship in February 2004, defeating Holly, Lita, and Jazz in a fatal four-way match. Victoria began feuding with WWE Diva Search winners Christy Hemme and Ashley Massaro. She also reignited her rivalry with Stratus and had some interactions with Wilson, both as a partner and an opponent. Her final push within the company came in 2008 after she allied herself with Natalya, who had just debuted. Varon also found herself being duped by the Bella Twins and their twin magic throughout the later months of the year. Varon asked for her release within 2 years of her contract remaining after she was told the company had no plans for her. She wrestled her last match under contract on SmackDown in January 2009 against Michelle McCool.
I was not wanting to hate the business. I didn't want to be bitter when I left. I still love what I do.
Varon debuted in TNA as Tara in May 2009 on an episode of Impact. She immediately attacked the Beautiful Peoples Angelina Love, Velvet Sky, and Madison Rayne, making her presence in the company known. She defeated Rayne in her first match on June 11th. Varon would bring her pet tarantula Poison with her to the ring and even put the spider on Sky following a match.
You see, I bark,
he bites.
Tara won her first Knockouts Championship from Love in July, though she dropped the belt back 2 weeks later. Varon went on to hold the Knockouts Championship a total of 5 times, though one of those reigns was the shortest in company history at just 1 day. Tara was also in TNA's first ever women's First Blood match. Varon briefly left TNA in 2010 after a disagreement over pay. She lost a career versus title match against then Knockouts champion Reign, but was back in the company at the Victory Road pay-per-view in July. Tara would go on to feud with real-life friend Mickie James in a variety of stipulation matches, including a Falls Count Anywhere match. She also won the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships alongside Miss Tessmacher, whom she would also defeat to win the Knockouts Championship for the final time. Her last match as a member of the TNA roster came on July 14, 2013, in a losing effort to ODB. Varon was released 2 days later. Following her release, she said that she was close to leaving anyway. She claimed she would never go back, adding that her time with TNA made her appreciate working for WWE. Varon didn't wait until her time was up with TNA to hit the indie scene. She appeared at Family Wrestling Entertainment's FWE Fallout pay-per-view in November 2011, challenging Madison Rayne with Christy Hemme as a special guest referee. She returned to the promotion a few times throughout her time in TNA. After leaving TNA, she made her House of Hardcore debut in November 2013, reuniting with former partner Stevie Richards in a loss to Carlito and Rosita. Varon also appeared in Ring of Honor under her real name in October 2013, attacking ROH darling Maria Kanellis with the Widow's Peak. She appeared throughout the years at Maryland Championship Wrestling and Chikara, as well as appearing at House of Hardcore 36 in December 2017 to face off against Candice Michelle in the latter's retirement match. In January 2019, Varon announced her retirement. She competed in her final match as a full-time wrestler in the main event of a Master of Ring Entertainment show in September of that year. Varon defeated Melina to become the first More Women's champion, going out on top. Throughout her years in the ring, Varon owned a few businesses alongside her then-husband, Lee Varon. Unfortunately, all those enterprises failed, some rather dramatically. The pair first owned a pizza restaurant in Louisville, Kentucky called Fat Tony's Pizzeria, but sold it in May 2007 before opening a custom car shop also in Louisville named Black Widow Customs, in a nod to Victoria's finishing move. The shop was destroyed in a fire just 10 days before Christmas 2010. The fire broke out while Varon was under anesthesia for a medical procedure. No one was injured in the fire, which was discovered by an employee who warned neighbors and attempted to put it out himself. The fire came the day after the shop was profiled on a local news station's Consumer Watch segment. A University of Kentucky football player claimed the shop's work left his car undrivable. Varon issued a video statement defending the shop's work and addressing the fire. She said she would make sure her employees were compensated during the Christmas holiday. The shop never reopened. In March 2013, the Varons opened a wrestling-themed restaurant in Chicago called the Squared Circle.
A lot of smart wrestling fans will know what the Squared Circle is.
I'm not a smart.
No, well, it's okay. We will smarten you up.
The business was initially successful, but Lisa Marie announced in January 2015 that she would be moving back to her home state of California, leaving the restaurant to her soon-to-be ex-husband. The Squared Circle was put up for sale in March 2015, but the week after it went on the market, a gunman entered the restaurant and Lee Varon subdued the intruder before the police arrived. Soon after, Lisa Marie announced she would no longer support the business. It finally closed in 2017. Lots of wrestlers dip their toes into acting, and Varon has too. She first appeared in an uncredited role as a bodyguard on Pamela Anderson's TV series VIP in 2000. That same year, she appeared as a wrestler named Chickosaurus on the sitcom Nikki. She also played a wrestler named Mayday Marge in the Netflix series Love in 2017. Most recently, Varon made an appearance in a 2023 independent Christmas film that also featured Kurt Angle. Varon's most notable non-wrestling appearance may have been as herself, though. She was featured in a series of Family Feud episodes that featured 2 teams of TNA wrestlers.
Name something you like to be near when riding on an airplane. Tara.
Bathroom.
Varon returned as Victoria to a WWE ring in the 2021 Women's Royal Rumble. It was her first appearance with the company in almost 12 years, and it came during the company's Thunderdome era when no fans were present due to the COVID-19 pandemic. She was the 5th woman eliminated from the match, getting thrown over the top rope by Shayna Baszler. Following her appearance, Varon expressed disgust with how she was treated, saying she felt unwelcomed backstage. Speaking on her Grown Ass Women podcast in 2023, she said,
"How I got treated by some of the people, I will never treat a human like that, ever."
She also appeared in an Impact ring in 2023, despite saying she would never return to the company. On January 13th, she appeared as Tara at Hard to Kill to support Mickie James in her title versus career match against Jordynne Grace. She also teamed with Giselle Shaw to challenge the Death Dolls, Jessica and Taya Valkyrie. Varon and Shaw challenged for the Knockouts World Tag Team Championships, but failed to capture the gold. Varon previously expressed interest in working with AEW in a backstage trainer and agent role, but spoke on her podcast about another less than pleasant backstage experience there in June 2023.
When I went back there, I got the look like, what the f is she doing here? Excuse me.
Really?
I felt uncomfortable.
These days, Varon lives a much quieter life. She's one of the hosts on the Grown Ass Women podcast, alongside fellow TNA stars SoCal Val and Mickie James. The women of GAW TV have held some charity events over the past few years, including Dresslemania during WrestleMania weekends. The hosts take donations of signed, event-worn dresses from women in professional wrestling and auction them off to benefit various charities, including the National Alliance on Mental Illness in memory of the late Daphne Younger. Varon also has accounts on Twitch and Cameo, and also has an OnlyFans presence where fans can subscribe for $15 a month to see exclusive content. But don't expect to see the steamy stuff some other former WWE stars post to the site. Varon's page states, "Join me on OnlyFans to take a peek into my life after wrestling. No nudes. Please be respectful." Varon has also not ruled out returning to the ring for WWE. In an interview in 2022, she said that a return could be possible if she was presented with the right storyline, especially now that Vince McMahon is gone from the company and Paul Triple H Levesque is in charge.